understanding the profound meanings of Surah Al-Fatiha. Dear viewers, in our previous discussion, we started with Surah Al-Fatiha. We tried our best to explain and interpret the first verse of Al-Fatiha-i-Sharifa as much as possible. Now, I will continue from there. In the first part of the verse, we had said, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, which means all praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. To emphasize the unique attribute of Allahu Ta'ala, the continuation of the verse states, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, which means the most gracious, the most merciful. Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim describe Allah's mercy, which encompasses all creation and existence. Ar-Rahman refers to Allah's mercy in this world, where He bestows His blessings upon both those who obey and those who disobey Him without distinction. Scholars have noted that due to the profound meaning carried by Ar-Rahman, it should only be used for Allah. As you know, in daily life, we can name our children Abdurrahim or Rahim, but we do not say Rahman because the attribute of Ar-Rahman is exclusive to Allah. It means the one whose mercy is vast and whose compassion for humanity is infinite. Because it is an exclusive attribute, we do not use the word Rahman for humans. Instead, when referring to people, we say Abdurrahman, which means the servant of Ar-Rahman, Allah. However, Islamic scholars have permitted the use of Rahim for people. One can be called Rahim or Abdurrahim. Ar-Rahim refers to Allah's mercy that will be specifically for believers in the hereafter. Islamic scholars have pointed out that this indicates Allah's mercy will be manifested to the true believers on that day. These verses emphasize how significant the attribute of Allah's mercy is. Thus we see that human beings are compelled to praise Allahu Ta'ala due to the manifestation of this attribute of mercy. Logically, conscientiously, and fairly, a person will feel the necessity to act in this way. You can see how Islam presents the truth to people in a way that engages them with reality. It does not impose blind faith upon people, but rather it leads them to understand, comprehend, and embrace faith with conviction. From the very beginning, the Quran carries this quality. It constantly confronts mankind with undeniable truths, ensuring that faith is not imposed forcefully, but rather internalized with genuine understanding. Thus, Islam does not encourage people to believe blindly, as some claim, in a dogmatic manner. Faith itself is about research, inquiry, and reaching the truth through investigation and understanding. In the later interpretations of the verses, we will elaborate on these matters further, Insha'Allah. When we say Alhamdulillah, meaning all praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful, we are not merely stating an empty phrase. We say this with full sincerity, understanding, and awareness. A believer is sincere and genuine in their expressions. Because a believer's faith is the result of a sincere and heartfelt conviction, their iman, faith, is genuine. That is why Allah describes believers in the Quran as as-sadiqun, those who are truthful in their words and actions. Believers who utter Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, have truly internalized this reality in their hearts. In the third part of the verse, we find Maliki Yawmiddini, which means Master of the Day of Judgment. Allah is the true owner of everything, both in this world and the hereafter. However, in this world, ownership appears to be shared among others. Even though people know that their possessions are temporary, they claim ownership over them. We say, my house, my shop, my wealth, my property. And as our ancestors used to say, wealth is dear to a person. Indeed, people feel attached to their belongings. Yet on Yawm ad-Din, the Day of Judgment, no one else will claim ownership of anything. Allah will ask, Limani al-mulku al-yawma, to whom does the dominion belong today? And everyone will have to answer, Lillahi al-wahidi al-qahari, to Allah, the One, the All-Powerful. On that day, all people will be forced to acknowledge this reality. That is why Allah is called Maliki Yawm ad-Din, the Master of the Day of Judgment. Among the reciters of the Quran, Imam Asim and Imam Kisai recite this as Maliki Yawm ad-Din, while other recitation schools recite it as Maliki Yawm ad-Din. For Hanafis, we generally recite it as Maliki Yawm ad-Din. Those who have performed Hajj may have noticed that in congregational prayers there, it is often recited as Maliki Yawm ad-Din. There is no significant difference in meaning between Malik and Melik. Scholars have explained the slight distinctions between them, but ultimately both words convey the idea of ownership, sovereignty, and ruling authority. After comprehending the meaning of Alhamd, praise, in this detailed manner, one reaches the realization that no one but Allah deserves ubudiyah, worship. Thus, this understanding leads to the declaration, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'inu, O Allah, only you do we worship, and only you do we seek help from. We perform all acts of worship and all beneficial deeds solely for your pleasure. We serve you, O Allah, seeking your divine approval, and in times of hardship and trials, we turn only to you for assistance. We seek help from Allah's infinite mercy and grace. This is a crucial point. It is a clear reflection of spiritual development and perfection. As you can see, Iman, faith, is nothing but the manifestation of a soul's journey towards perfection. When a believer turns to Allah with such faith, sincerity, and submission, Allah will undoubtedly respond to their devotion and will not leave them unanswered.